Hello, I'm Zoe Honick, and today I will be presenting Developing the Future. Oh, don't mind me. Go back to talking to one another as if I weren't here. You see, I'm on a photo hunt. It's this scavenger hunt the Photo League puts together, where they give us a phrase, and then we have to go take a picture of something that represents it. As you may have guessed, I am a member of the Photo League. It's a photo organization right here in New York City. It was founded nearly a decade ago in 1936, when Sid Grossman and Saul Lisbon found a need that the public needed to see the world. And what better way of documenting daily life than taking pictures of it? We like to call our work social documentary. Please, sir, don't laugh at this. There are many prominent members in the Photo League. For example, there is Louis Hine, the man who took the horrific conditions of child labor, which led to many laws against it. There's also Margaret Burke White, photographer for Life magazine. She was the first female war correspondent and first female allowed in a combat zone. She took pictures of the invasion of the Soviet Union, our troops, and the Buchenwald concentration camp. You see, as a photojournalist, we have the right to document whatever we wish, no matter how controversial it may be. It's freedom of the press. It's granted to us through the Bill of Rights. We have a responsibility to document what we wish, we have a right to document what we wish, and a responsibility to do it for the public. Well, anyway, I have to go meet up with my friend. Enjoy your card game. When the Photo League was originally created, it was supposed to be a school of photography. However, it soon expanded into also being a gallery and a lecture hall dedicated to innovative photography. Those in the Photo League often met at Sid Grossman's house to discuss social issues and their photographs. What were you? Look at this. Margaret Burke White got her picture on the cover of Life magazine again. And that wasn't the only thing I saw at the newsstand. I also saw Vivian Cherry's Game of Lynching in 48 magazine. You know, I asked Vivian how she took this picture, and she said that she was walking down the street looking for something interesting to take a picture of when she came across these kids playing a lynching game. They would all take turns saying who did the best lynching position, and then they would laugh. You know, just last year, on that hot July day in Monroe, Georgia, 4 Negroes were killed because of the color of their skin. And now these kids laugh about it? What's the public going to say about this? You know, in the Photo League, we don't take those pictures that are very posed, a happy family around the dinner table. No, we take pictures of the real world. We take pictures of people walking down the street, of horrible housing conditions, and of the horrible working conditions of the impoverished. That's what the Photo League is about. In order for the Photo League to generate a larger membership, the Photo League would hold exhibits open to the public. Hi, Luigi. It's such an honor to meet you. My friends and I heard about this exhibit, and we just knew we had to come. I'm Angela Calamirez. Your pictures are amazing. They're so controversial, yet they document the crime life here. I mean, look at Manthal Jimenez is wounded in the lap of the Apollo Commandus, who just shoots an innocent guy walking down the street. And then look at all these other pictures taken. The public needs to see this so we can change the violence in New York. Yeah, it's always been a lifelong dream of mine to be a photographer. Really? You think I'd be good at the Photo League? Yeah, I'll consider it. Angela Calamirez joined the Photo League in February of 1942. Hey, Sid, open up. I brought my camera so you can teach me that new lighting technique. Oh, no, thank you. I don't want to smoke. No, really, go on. It's okay. When the war ended in 1945, a wave of anti-communism spread across America, also known as McCarthyism. The government feared that any organization affiliated with social change would be affiliated with the Communist Party. Dean Williams, reporting live on December 5th, 1947. Today, Attorney General Tom Clark has publicly blacklisted the Photo League as being a subversive organization. They're currently categorized in the same group as the Ku Klux Klan. The Photo League has sent a statement following these accusations. The Photo League repudiates this irresponsible and reckless smearing of its purposes. The attack was spearheaded by the House Un-American Activities Committee to stifle every progressive thought and to intimidate by threat of cultural workers. Stay tuned for the latest on this story. After the Photo League was blacklisted, many League members band together to fight against this accusation. However, among those was Walter Roosevelt, president of the Photo League. Thanks for coming over for some tea. Did you get the latest photo notes? You didn't? Well, Walter wrote such a powerful article. Here, let me find it for you. Where do we go from here? Tom Clark's bolt of lightning was certainly blunted if our membership meeting on Tuesday night was any indication. Whoever thought the day would come when the Photo League would be called upon to defend the Bill of Rights? The history of the Photo League is the history of its members. The inhumanity of watching a woman drag a big sack of coal up 4 flights of stairs hurts us because our mothers did it too. How can one be censored for being interested in one's fellow man? The League has been attacked because the reaction this country knows. Scare the artist now, and you might shut him up when 1948 rolls around. You know he's right. The government's fears our pictures. They know that our pictures bring change to the world, and they're afraid of change. That's why we've been blacklisted. That's why our rights have been violated. After the Photo League was put on the blacklist, the Photo League saw a spike in membership. Those who felt that their rights as journalists were being violated by McCarthyism took a stand against this injustice. However, in 1951, the Photo League was hit with a fatal blow when Angela Calomiris testified against the Photo League and proclaimed it a communist front. So what paper did you say this was going to be in again? The New York Times! Wow, have I really made it? Anywho, a few weeks after I joined the League, I was confronted by 2 FBI agents asking if I wanted to be an informant to expose the Communist Front in the Photo League. Of course I said yes. Now, I was in the Photo League that long when I attended my first seminar on the Soviet war efforts during World War II. It was here that a man asked me if I wanted to join the Communist Party. Of course I said yes, as I had a responsibility to reveal this Communist Front. I worked various jobs in the organization and gathered a long list of names associated with the League. It was here that I was honestly able to confirm that the Photo League was a Communist Front. Do I feel guilty about putting the Photo League on the blacklist? Of course not. Sid Grossman was luring people into the League and trying to convert their political beliefs. I had a responsibility to Attorney Tom Clark to report my findings. I did America a favor, and I do not feel guilty for that. After the Photo League was closed in 1951, the League became virtually forgotten. It was not until 60 years later that the photos reemerged and the public was reminded of the influential and courageous works of those in the Photo League. Well, you look at this. The New York Times raves about the new exhibit bearing witness Sonia Handelman-Meyer and the Photo League. You know, I hope that when people look at this exhibit, they don't just think of me, Sonia Handelman-Meyer, but instead they remember everybody in the group. The pictures we took between the years of 1936 through 1951 changed the way the world views photography. We took pictures on controversial issues, which is why we became one of the very first victims of the McCarthy era. McCarthyism violated the rights of journalists because those who reported on controversial topics were hunted by the government and prosecuted for communism. We lost our freedom of the press. They violated the Bill of Rights. Now let me get one thing straight to you. The Photo League was not a communist front. This was a lie spurred by Angela Calomiris. Some people think the reason she lied about the Photo League was because if she did not, she would have been outed by the FBI. However, the more widely accepted theory is she wanted the thrill of being a spy. A few years after the Photo League closed, the Communist Control Act of 1954 passed Congress. This made it illegal for one to be a member of the Communist Party. The men we elected into Congress feared communism more than they treasured our freedom. We, the members of the Photo League, put our reputations in risk in order to develop a future that we wanted to live in. Never again can we allow society, especially the government, to restrict the responsibilities of our journalists. Nobody has the right to do so. Thank you.
Great use of props, man. You had everything in every place.
Thank you. I practiced a lot, so I kind of figured out what I needed.
Just looking at your document here, you really did a lot of research. I mean, it's apparent that you really worked on this script, and the characters, it just, you know, it was like a little mini play.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
Cool. And the way that you developed it with, you know, the early pictures showing crime in New York City and how you developed what the book was before you got into then explaining why people feared them.
Thank you. That was like my big goal. It was really hard for me because the Photo League is a very small organization. It was hard to find information on, so it was really hard for me to figure out a way to do a cohesive performance. So thank you.
I think you did.
Well, yeah, good transitions, good presentation, great diction and projection. That's so valuable to be able to project. So obviously you have some good talent there.
When you say it's hard to find resources, that's what analyzing history is about. It's taking a stuff that's not well researched and putting your own opinion and voice behind it. And that's what you've done. You've done a spectacular job at doing so.
Thank you. That's why I like choosing smaller topics because I've done this since like 6th grade, and in the junior division I did topics that were kind of well known, but then in high school I started doing smaller ones, and I find it more interesting to do a topic that's not well known because there's like more to look at, and I feel like you get a more clear picture of what actually happened in history that way.
That's a very good point, I think. Makes it
Yeah.
I like your line. I enjoyed bringing history to life. You did that today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You used interviews extensively. I noticed the Columbus Museum of Art. So they specialize, I would assume, in the Margaret Burke White.
Yeah, there was an exhibit in 2012 called The Radical Camera, and they took all the pictures of the Photo League and they held it at the Columbus Museum for people to see. And then they had, they called in the surviving members of the Photo League to do interviews. So that's how I got most of my interviews. But then I also, I interviewed over email, Sonia Handelman-Meyer, who I perform at the end. And I think that interview was by far the most valuable. She gave me so much information that I wasn't able to find, and since she was in it and I was able to ask her like personal questions that went in depth,
Sure.
it just helped my performance so much.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was really sweet too.
Any reason for your passion behind journalism?
Well, I wanted to do something like art related, and that's kind of how I came to the journalism one, because I was thinking art and photography, and then I was like, oh, well, photojournalism, I think it kind of falls into both categories, which is how I got really interested in journalism. Plus, it's also, and today, like, we can see with reports all around the world how important it is for journalists to have freedom of speech, and I thought it was really important to tie that into this presentation, why journalists need rights and how they can't, how the government just can't take away that right. Because I mean, we have instances like the Arab Spring, the journalists who were there reporting everything that's happening. We have journalists all around the world, especially like during the Vietnam era. Like the reason the Vietnam War had such a controversy over it was because the journalists showed the harsher sides of it. So I just think it's really important for journalism and that they have every right so the public knows what's going on.
Happy that people your age know about the influence of journalism in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a 27-year-old. Most of my friends don't even know about that.
Well, I do more history than most of my friends, so.
You're right on time, 9 minutes, 45 seconds, just so you know.
Okay.
It does seem a little fast in the beginning though.
Yeah, I know, I was really
And I
nervous.
know it's nerves. It's you walk in and you get going. I do the exact same thing.